There was a terrible incident that occurred in Boya during the May 20th celebration, regional capital of the Southwest region, the Republic of Cameroon. This has come to remind us about the insensitivity of some of our security officers, and it was acts like this that forged the Anglophone crisis to where we are today. And if we had exercised restraint and be objective and professional in the execution of our duty, the Anglophone crisis, which started in October 2016, clocking 10 years this October 2026, will not have occurred. You may have seen the video about the St. Joseph College, Sasse, where they were almost prevented from participating during the 20th May celebration. These kids left their school to come and show patriotism to their motherland and fatherland, Cameroon. They came and they were about to be prevented because of their tight march past, which has been there for years. You see, when I saw the way some of these security officers who ought to have guided these students or guide them, tried preventing them until it almost led to an alteration, it reminds me about the fact that some of us are insensitive, especially in a region. Exercising that in a region which some people still have the phobia as to how they have a different perception of defense and security forces. Where in a region that is struggling to come out from a crisis, a region that is struggling to say, okay, let us at least let bygone to bygone. And that kind of attitude is brought forth by a security or some security officers. It's a major call for concern. And I believe that as a nation, we must know when to draw the line and when not to draw the line. This St. Joseph College, Sasse, it is not today that they have been marching like that. Governors who went to Sasse march like that. Ministers who went to Sasse march like that. Board of directors, trustees who went to St. Joseph College, Sasse, for over the years march like that. Members of parliament, top officials who went through Sasse march like that. It's a sign of their own patriotism. And come to think of it, there have never been a clear sign of march practice where they say that you must swing your two arms to march. We watch in Yaoundé how some people danced while marching. We watch in Yaoundé how some people walk while marching. And this is a style march past that signifies love for fatherland and also gentility, and signify a high level of moral value and academic soundness. That is why you see the people of Sasse, the students, always march like that to show that they are people of a different class and of different breed, and people who have a high sense of judgment and a high sense of patriotism. You see what happened? And that was how the Anglophone crisis started. And it reminds some people, if you listen to the commentary that some people were making in the video that you are watching, I'll play the full video. It tells you about the fact that some of these security officers are not really sensitive in that particular situation. They are not sensitive until they say march like this or you leave the line. That is that is an unpatriotic manner, and that simply brings the manner in which people always talk about the slave and the master. That was how teachers were brutalized in the 2016 in Buea, and their wig were lawyers were brutalized in 2016 in Buea, and their wig were seized. But if they had allowed these people to peacefully march, these lawyers to peacefully march, go back to their houses, we would not have been where we are today. Because some people thought that they had the powers and the sticks. They went and met lawyers, got some of them were beaten. Some of them were beaten and pulled into Buea police station. And that aggravated the situation. The same thing in the University of Boya, where some students were beaten along the streets. And this catapulted and accumulated to where we are today. And that's why I say this, that as a nation, we are building a country. And when you see, you are supposed to be, as a security officer, you are supposed to be sensitive
about the environment that you are. And the shocking thing is the students finally marched like that. They finally finish their march past. Am I saying that the state cannot change regulation? If the state deem it necessary this year that they have instituted a strict way of marching where everybody must conform to that, that information ought to have been communicated to Sasse way ahead of time. But I am sure if you go into detail, you will know that the management of Sasse did not receive that information about that about changing their style of march past. For since our governor of the Southwest region, Buea, has been presiding over march past, he has always watched Sasse marching like that. And if you think that you don't like it, it is their culture. Every area has its culture. And that is why you see the people talking about this Anglophone marginalization, is that some people don't understand that some people have a particular culture in a particular region. We watched march past in Yaoundé. There were different styles of march past in Yaoundé. It is their culture. Some people march with singlet before the head of state, before President Boya, singlet and shawl before President Boya, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, number one state man, guarant of national security. That is their culture. And in the Southwest region, I'm not sure anybody march with singlet. Oh, sure. Or the people did not see it. Sometimes we have to be honest and tell some of our brothers and sisters in uniform that you need to use wisdom. Yes, you are reminding the people about the fundamental principle of why the crisis is still ongoing. Because this is the way what you are indirectly telling them. You are bringing this master and the slave mentality. Students in University of Boya were beaten in 2016. In November, beaten. Lawyers were beaten. If they had just allowed the lawyers to march freely from where march and go, I'm not sure lawyers would have blocked the street. The lawyers are so educated not to block the street. We are where we are today in the Anglophone crisis because of that.